First question about marginal revolution and so forth. Tyler Cowen and I started our blog, Marginal Revolution, in August of 2003. And our goal was pretty simple. Our goal was to teach economics to the entire world. And since that time, we've added our textbook, Modern Principles of Economics. And that textbook is now used throughout the United States. And there are editions in Chinese, in Italian, and in Greek, and in other languages. And we've added to that our online platform for learning economics through video. That's Marginal Revolution University. And at MRU, you can find entirely free economics courses, again, available to anybody in the entire world. So Tyler and I are now towards the end of our second decade in our multi-year plan to achieve world domination in economics education, and I think we're getting closer anyway. So it's working out pretty well. Second question about public policy and so forth. For better or worse, governments play a huge role in social life. It's hard to find any developed economy where the government isn't spending at least 20% of GDP. Even in Hong Kong, the Hong Kong government is spending about 20% of GDP. And of course, government's share of spending is an underestimate of their role in social life because there are many rules and regulations which don't take much spending, but nevertheless have a tremendous impact on how we live our lives. So there is going to be government policy, but there is better and there is worse government policy. We have learned something over the years about governing a mixed economy. There is wisdom in economics. There is wisdom in political economy. There is wisdom in the history and practice of policymaking. And what we want to do at the ISPP is to distill that wisdom and to train a new generation of policy analysts and policy thinkers to help them improve governance. We don't want this hard-earned wisdom to go to waste. It needs to be used. Now, part of the wisdom, of course, is that sometimes laissez-faire, do nothing, leave it alone, let the market decide. Sometimes laissez-faire is the best policy, but not always. Moreover, even when we have government policy, we want to make sure that the visible hand and the invisible hand, that they're not in opposition. Instead, what we want to do is to have policy which channels self-interest towards the social good. We don't want to have policy as if policy making were moving people on a chessboard who have no will and no agency of their own, as Adam Smith memorably put it. We want policy which guides self-interest, which channels self-interest towards the social good. And the ISPP is especially well suited to doing this because it's a project of intellectual entrepreneurs like Parth Shah, who understand these ideas and these principles and this deep wisdom at its root. Parth has already had a tremendous impact in training a new generation of economists and policy thinkers. And the Indian School of Public Policy is just going to scale this up dramatically. And it's coming at the right time because the Indian governments at both the federal and the state level, they're facing all kinds of challenges as the Indian economy rockets into the 21st century. They're facing all kinds of challenges and they want an infusion of fresh talent, of new ideas and new faces. And they're looking really for the first time to hire laterally. And I think this infusion of fresh talent from the private sector, from places like ISPP, it's going to be great for India. And the ISPP is going to be not just great for India, but also great for all of the students who go through its program, because they're going to be able to find jobs not just in government, but also in the private sector as well. So it's really a very exciting time. And I'm delighted to play a role, small role, in the new Indian School of Public Policy. Thanks.